Buy some coin calls.
We're good.
Yeah. Yes. We're live.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of Market Check. I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. Could not get my camera to work again today, but I'm going to try and get that fixed either by tomorrow or by the end of the week. I'm joined by Tucker. You guys also know him as Haggard, as well as Will's Outlook, bringing you guys coverage on all things financial markets with a charting flavor in the morning. Hope you guys appreciate the content that we have. A reminder, if it's your first time tuning in or you're a regular, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We really appreciate all the support that you guys bring this channel and bring this brand. But yeah, guys, I mean, let's see, what do we have to talk about this morning? It's, for me, the biggest thing is definitely this Bitcoin pump that we've had. It's not necessarily to the same degree of the pumps that we've already had within this rally, the ones that took us to 31.5 initially, all the way up from like 26K. But, it's still a green morning. You're seeing certain altcoins really start to thrive in this environment as Bitcoin is, I wouldn't necessarily call it certainty, but it's providing a window of certainty for a lot of these assets, to have a bit more confidence in being bid. So I love to see that. I love to see the entire crypto ecosystem, really starting to pop up. You're starting to see some individual opportunities and names, start to express themselves a little bit more strongly. I've been looking at Blur for a long time. It finally put in a Chad candle on an upbit listing. We'll see if it can follow through. But you are seeing, some periods of outperformance for some of these assets, which I think can only be viewed as an encouraging sign for the space. But yeah, no, I mean, let's see, Pepe up 8%, Arbitrum up 7%, Blur up 15%. Definitely a risk on flavor to Asia session. We've talked about this before, right? The alpha in Tuesday is that it's the highest returning day of the week for crypto so far this year. Wednesdays are typically the worst. So it's, I think the term that somebody I've seen use is called Tuesday, which I guess is fitting, right? You chew up all the people who shorted into the hole yesterday. I hope that alpha is not decaying, although I'm seeing that phrase used more and more on my timeline. So I don't know how much longer it will be, super actionable, method of trading. But for now, it has led to some very green crypto markets. And we look to the other side. We have equities, which I'm still not certain that equities are done bleeding, over the next maybe week or two, but we are getting close to levels where I would consider bidding. I'm personally not looking to play indexes as far as equities go. I think individuals still probably provide the best risk reward at this point. Um, but you know, indexes, it's definitely not a place where you should be looking to short them. At least that's the opinion that I have. Um, no shorting for me on these indexes until we see some materially structural breaks, which we haven't seen. We can see these. I mean, this is very much a controlled sell-off, and I imagine there's quite a bit of buying on the way down. If we can get a little bit of like a spike in volatility that causes indexes to trade lower here into the end of the month, I think that would be potentially a really good dip buying opportunity. But that's kind of what I'm seeing as far as just the slate this morning. We have a bit of a risk on bid and an appetite still within these markets. It's bleeding over into crypto. I'm still a little bit skeptical on a lot of these altcoin pumps, but there's definitely some encouraging signs of a risk on bid. But we'll see if it can remain prolonged, because that's kind of been the theme of, I would say, the last 2 or 3 weeks, especially in the crypto market, is these alts will catch a bid and it'll patter out very, very quickly, especially on Ethereum. So, if Bitcoin can find a bottom against Bitcoin locally, you could start seeing alts catch more and more of a bid than they are already. But that's what I'm seeing in the markets right now. I still think Bitcoin is probably the safest way to play upside exposure until, until you start to see volatility start to get crushed again. But yeah, I mean, That's what I got to say this morning, guys. I love to see all of the assets I'm holding green. I love to see Bitcoin green. I am interested to see if X continue bleeding lower, so we can maybe take some shots on some individual tickers. But otherwise, nothing too out of the ordinary this morning. This is a market. I wouldn't call it a bull market, but it's a market right now that has a bullish flavor. Absolutely. It could be towards the end of the trend, but this market right now has a distinctly bullish flavor. As far as how I would approach buying dips until something changes. But enough for me. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Will's outlook, see what he's thinking on the market. Will, how was your morning, man? And what are you seeing so far from the markets today?
My morning's good. Just posting some, a little bit of funnies this morning. Hopefully nobody's offended on the market. But man, this market's crazy, man. It opens one way and goes completely the opposite direction. Um, yeah, I would say there's a lot of things in the market that are indicative of up only type market structure. There's a lot of things still recovering from lows. As far as price goes, there's still a lot of value, I think, out there and stuff throughout the market. And I think a lot of that's being avoided slash, feared. And, the more you fear it, the less likely you're going to get in on anything. I think like if you're sitting here and you're curious, should I stay in cash or should I be allocating anything? Like, assess your risk management at the end of the day, but like I think there's value that you could put money into even if we saw an economic downturn tomorrow, right? And the economy just got crushed, some random thing happened, a nuke flew across and took out whatever. Oh my God, YouTube are gonna monetize me for that. But something flew across, took out a nation or whatever, and some kind of big war broke out. Like there's just certain sectors that are already so obliterated. Where are they going to go? They can't go down anymore. And I think that a lot of people are avoiding, the biggest wealth factor in capitalism, and that's growth stocks, right? And growth stocks are still very undervalued, still have a lot of room to go. A lot of people moved into the dividend side of things from what I've seen. So understanding that from a higher level, there's a lot of air and opportunity if people want to take it, right? Does growth inherently have more risk? And if they can, that's what they're going to do, right? So bonds would be a flat five, whereas like, hey, if I put in 100 billion into something like Apple, boom, now I can make an easy 8, 9, 10, and they feel like that's a safe place to put their money, and that's what the stock market's treating everything like right now. So like nobody's going to bonds right now. They're just not. But could you front run bonds right now? Sure, you could, because I think the bond trade comes later, much, much, much later. But you either be early or you be late. That's all it is at the end of the day. A lot of people are trying to chase the money today rather than chase the money down the road, right? And the money down the road is the real wealth gain versus the money today, right? It's like a day trader more or less esque type move. What's your thoughts on that there, Tucker?
Yeah, man. um, it's tough. I mean, I think a lot of these small caps, like you said, still do have room to run. Um, we saw yields reverse pretty hard this morning, actually. Um, they were down a lot, and now they're obviously up a lot. Just taking a look at them, yeah, especially the long end is up a lot. Yeah, I still remain a proponent of the long end trade. I think it's going to take a lot longer than people think, so that's why I have no um, time sensitivity to that trade. But um, I mean, yeah, until equities really start bleeding, there's no reason for people to flip to bonds right now. Um, it kind of depends on how forward looking you think the market is, right? Like is the smart money seeing a recession coming and is gonna start filtering out their equities for bonds at some point? Probably, but that point is not yet. I don't believe. And like we were talking about on our morning call with our Discord members, you know, equities are in kind of a must hold spot right here. I really think we got to see a bounce today, or else I think we're probably going at least 1 to 2% lower, which isn't like some crazy call or anything, but I think yeah, I mean actually it's looking pretty nice right now. So yeah, I want to see a good Tuesday close. Monday is usually a fade, so a good Tuesday close, and I think we can start looking for more upside. And the regime the last couple weeks has just been sell the rip, obviously. So until that changes, I'm technically flat on equity derivatives right now. So I am loving the small cap bid though. Enovix is up 20% today, which is just phenomenal stuff. I guess they got a government contract or something like that. So that's one we were calling out. I was calling out in the Discord like for a couple months at this point, and it is on an absolute tear, which is just beautiful to see. Some other one. I mean, basically we're getting a tear across the board, I guess. One that our buddy King Wabi called out. OX, like we put in the title, is up 25% today. Just an absolute ripper. So I'm liking what I'm seeing across the board. We did get some kind of scammery in Bitcoin, like over the last like hour and a half. Will, if you want to screen share, we can look at the low time frames because it was pretty wild stuff, honestly. Yeah. I don't know. I want to see how today closes. Like I was saying to our Discord members, like I want to see how today closes. Monday is usually a fade, so Tuesday close is important. I think if the pump now is reflective of anything, I think you could maybe say that's a test pump. It doesn't necessarily look like a top. That most recent pump will showing right there. So you've got some decent volume support right there as well. So we'll see if this candle right now chews through that volume or not. If it holds, I expect it to probably go for those 31.4 highs. But things are looking good right now. Things are looking good. We got the Bitcoin miners ripping today. We got our small caps ripping. I mean, it's a good day. It's a good day. So yeah, I mean that's what I have there. What are you seeing on the charts there, Will?
No, I agree. We just have to swing high here. If we can swing high, get above that resistance there, and then you're good to go. You just got to get Bitcoin basically to kind of swing above this position right here. If it can swing up here, it's more than likely going to continue through and push above previous high. So it's a good position to be watching for price. Market's been pretty interesting overall as far as where things are. A little bit questionable this morning. Definitely they, kind of shook off the headwind a little bit and kept chugging along. Very interesting. Very, very interesting move this morning. I posted a little bit on Twitter, just memeing a little bit with the craziest bull market rally or bear market rally ever. But I threw up the ELF chart, obviously. Just buy anywhere, just continues going through one of those type moves. We talk about this on a regular day by day basis, and it just keeps pushing up. I don't understand the chart, to be honest with you. I did get in down here at 48, but like I don't know if I want to be a buyer up here. To be real, like I don't really think I want to add to my position, and I'm almost questionable of whether or not to shave some of this position. This is the most insane chart I've ever seen. Like one of easily. You can see the vol drop here, and then you can see the vol ramp again right over here. Right, as soon as they get that pullback in the zone, it's just ramp, and you've only got green volume here. That's it. You have one red day right here. That's your first red. Everything else, buyers have chewed through all the sellers. you can sell all you want, and it doesn't matter because they just continue to chat through it. Most insanity I've seen in a chart. OX, another one, right? Like this is mind-boggling that it just keeps running and running and running. But again, I remember this right here specifically happening with Luna, and I'll tell you, it didn't end well, right? Did not end well. And so I would, be highly cautious with these. Again, very similar pattern to ELF. You got the decline of the volume. We could even say from here to here, and now you are starting again to after that ramp on volume, right? So you went from decline to start ramping again, which means your uptrends it's in a swift move. It's just going to keep chatting through. I don't see an end for this necessarily, and you've got some solid green all the way across the board through these buys. Like they're just chewing through everything here. It just keeps going up.
Who's selling down here, though? I think is the better question. Like, why would you sell this token down here?
Down here?
No, I mean like within this this pattern. I don't see why. I don't see why if you bought into this project over the last 2 weeks that you would have any interest in selling here.
Yeah, I mean, I could get that, but what if you bought over here?
That's true. Not many people did that, though. I mean, look at the volume.
Yeah. I mean, well, a lot of people could have because nobody's selling here, right? If you're buying in here, there's really not a lot of sellers here. There's some, but there's really no sellers here. Where would the sellers start to occur? Well, they'd start to occur after this. Now you're starting to get sellers, right? And really, I'm sure some of these people still exist up here. And so you should see selling here.
We're going to chew through these sellers, though. I mean, this to me is like, it's very, very rare that you have a crypto play on a token that the fundamentals within the space are just so clear and obvious that you just are obligated to punt it. I think about a very, very few within that same light where it just sticks out to you as just like, not even from a technical standpoint, just so obvious that this thing is going to trade significantly higher. Not even just like benchmarking valuations, but I always have referred to this token as like the Suzu and Kyle token. It's the social token, right? Like GCR has talked about that a lot. Social tokens and, the ability to kind of invest in people is going to be, a thing probably in future bull runs. And while this isn't exactly that, this is the closest thing to it on the market right now. So, no, I mean, this token is like, I'm so bullish on this token, man. I know we all are.
Yeah. I guess I just look for traditional market structures on a lot of these, and I just shouldn't a lot of the time. But I let them prove me wrong over time, right? And then I just play the trend based off of what they've done. So there's a lot of different aspects to really look at these. Right now, I'm just kind of observing the move and not really trying to evaluate where it should come down or when it should come down. But interested in the lack of participation on the seller side.
I have a target in mind for when I'm going to look to sell it. I mean, for one, like the $1 meme is going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy in the next bull run. Like OX to $1. I mean, they did the unit cost bias with the token perfectly. Yeah. Which seems very far away right now, but I personally view this as a long-term investment.
I don't see what stops it here.
But I mean, if you're gonna go with OX to $1, what about Doge to $1?
No.
No, I mean it's more so the market capitalizations, right? I mean Doge is still billions of market.
I'm not talking about right now. I'm just talking about last cycle in 2021.
Yeah, but Doge's market cap, while at 4 cents, was a lot higher than OX. It wasn't realistic really to get Doge to $1.
I think Doge.
No, I know that. I'm just saying, when we use the statement self-fulfilling prophecy, or we start chatting, telling people to $1. Typically, it tends to end before the price target.
Well, yeah. What did Doge get to? 80 cents.
It was like 70, I think 70 something. But yeah. Yeah, it ended way earlier than, what a lot of people anticipated. They were expecting $1 and everybody hit sell at the same time.
A dollar, I want to say, would put this thing
with no buyers.
A dollar would, like, this token trading at $1 would probably be around 3 billion market cap. For some perspective, I believe Doge traded at, holy cow, it traded at like 60 or 70 million market cap at its peak. And the reason I like OX is just because, I mean, we have all of this, exchange turmoil going on right now, and people are, it's not that I think that necessarily everybody is going to flock to OpenX to trade, but there's just so much, positive tailwinds for a new exchange token, especially when like the old guard of exchanges is currently, I would say, at the lowest it's been in a very long time for trust. So I just think there are many different factors that make it a very appealing investment for a lot of people beyond just like the Suzu and Kyle side of it as well.
Hey Tucker, is your mic feeding through the OBS or is there issues?
Dude, I'm not a producer. I don't know what's going on, bro. I'm trying to make it a little bit better. I turned mine up, so I'm going to turn your guys' down a little bit because it's picking up both. So we'll see if that's any better. Because I'm trying to pay attention and look at the live chat and then do the OBS. And I don't know how Max does it. He's quite talented. So don't worry. We'll figure it out, guys. I apologize that the mic stuff is not.
We got you. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get it. Don't worry.
Man. Yeah, OX is gonna do. Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy run, man. It's gonna be a crazy run. So we're looking at 10x to 40 cents, 20x to 80, solid maybe 20, 30x, somewhere in there.
It's one of those times where, like, multiple times throughout this year, I have underestimated just how early I was to something. I did it with Kanto, and then it pulled like 8 or 9x. I did it with Pepe. Very, very, like, that was the worst one by far. And I've done it with a few other meme tokens as well, like Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, 10 Inu. I'm not doing that again.
Bro, you were so early to that.
Dude, it's like you're so early to these shit coins that you think you have to treat them as a joke, and then you sell them, and then after you sell them, they get like this cult-like following, man.
And they did NFTs too. People bought them. Oh my god.
Oh, the Sprado Gremlins.
Yeah. All of those things are so ugly. And
They really are, but people like them, man.
It's because, I think when something is so ugly, like, people actually consider it real art. If it's got that extreme ugliness.
Oh, I don't know, man.
Like, bro, there was one I watched with this, or not watched, but I looked at. It was like one of their little Sonic dudes, and then like some Sonic girl with like this massive nose with her nostrils sticking over top of it, looking like she was sniffing it.
Jesus Christ, Will.
And I was just like,
they hosted a space where everybody in there hosting had like a Sprado Gremlin profile picture. I just sent you to a picture of like a screen cap I had of it. I thought it was so ridiculous. I had to commemorate the moment forever.
It's almost like the artist is like, how ugly can I make these PFPs?
Oh, dude, yeah. Who was in
You have to appreciate
that space?
Oh, man.
Snorlax, you were in there?
What, the NFTs? No. I have popped in just because I wanted to see what it was like, and it was as dumb as I thought it, but not as dumb as the do you guys remember the what were they? When they the Goblin NFTs, when they just went into the Twitter space and made goblin noises for like 2 hours straight and pumped the price of their NFTs from like a quarter of an ETH to like to like 2 ETH each.
No way,
dude. That was like peak bear market. That was literally probably in May in the space and did goblin noises for 2 or 3 hours consecutively. And nothing else in between. It was wild.
This market is, oh man. I'll tell you this, look, it's fun. It is fun. Like just watching the weirdest stuff in the world play out, like on Twitter and stuff. Like Twitter is the most weirdest place. I won't really say Twitter's the weirdest place. Twitter is the place where you'll find the weirdest people. Right?
That's fair.
The most awkward, weirdest people, and they build cults together, and they just do weird things. And it's like, and I'm not at all like trying to like talk bad on people's community. I'm just saying, like, and this is what pushes prices, right? These odd, makes no sense situations. People are just sitting there investing in random things that they have no clue what they do. Man, I don't know. But I think like to the Bears argument, like that is always what they're looking at. They're like, man, you got all these people just going to their neighbor, like, hey, can I buy that piece of gravel off you for $10,000? And the neighbor's like, sure. Here's your piece of gravel. Give me the $10,000. And people are trading like that right now, right? So when Bears argue, they say it's the frothiness. There is a lot of frothiness, 100%. But like, when does that stop? Right?
I mean, define frothiness though as well. I think that's a term that a lot of Bears like to use, but they don't necessarily.
They don't define it.
If they do use it, they never quantify it using the same metrics. It's like always something different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like how do you define froth?
That's the hard part, right? Because while I may find it, you going over and buying a rock off something, I'm not talking about a diamond or a piece of gold. I'm talking about a little rock for $10,000. Maybe you see $10,000 worth of value in it, right? That's just how these things work. It's really weird how market participants can be pushed into seeing value in something that really inherently has none. And I think that's what they mean by frothiness, is just buying something as if it has value, even though it has none.
That's why, that's why equity and stock bros never really liked crypto. That makes sense, I guess as far as like equities go, the fact that you have like, I think I saw the largest retail inflows of the year, that could be deemed decently frothy. I don't know as far as valuations if it's frothy, but short-term participation levels based on the liquidity available, that could be considered. I would maybe consider that a little bit frothy, but froth is like, it's almost as if people saw no froth in 2022, so they completely forgot how to be able to gauge it. 2021, because 2023 is absolutely nothing on 2021. I mean, I literally I can't even believe the things that I could make money doing in 2021. Like we are nowhere near that level of frothiness.
No, you could literally just close your eyes, like just cover your wall with altcoins. Close your eyes, throw a dart, put money in it. That's it in 2021. It is not the same market.
We literally had a token rebasing 70 to 80,000% every 8 hours, compounding interest, and the token went up 20x. And you think this is frothy? Like, no.
Yeah.
Not only that, bro. You would get some coins that would dump 80% and they would eat it up in 5 minutes. Like push it right back to all-time highs. And then they just dumped it down 80%. Like the market back then was a whole nother market. And I think you're right. I think you're definitely onto something there. Like they forget that's the market we lived in then, right? You could practically go in and rug a coin and people will buy it right back up to all-time high. I watched that happen on multiple coins. They literally got rugged and they bought it right back up to all-time high.
Yeah, bro, that was easy mode. And it'll be back, but it's not, I wouldn't say we're there yet. Not even close.
No, we're not. That's what I'm saying. And I think that's what Snorlax is alluding to, is a lot of bears saying, oh, it's so frothy. But the reality is, it's like, we're not at that point yet. Like, you're not rugging a coin and then having it go back to all-time high. It's not going to happen. You rug a coin, it's dead.
I will say one thing, like we don't have to return to that level of frothiness either, though,
That's
because like the conditions for that were so perfect and aligned that it might take a while before that happens again. But as far as just like gauge, I think people in general just have a very poor gauge of what froth looks like right now because a lot of them are viewing it through the lens of that it should look like 2021 when it's something else entirely.
yeah, yeah.
But
I would.
yeah, I don't know. What are Tucker? What are you kind of seeing from the equity markets right now? I know we haven't really touched on those too much. I know we're both looking for a pullback, but what levels are you guys looking at to get back involved with some of these equity plays? Specifically, I'm looking at things like Google. If Qs are going to put in another high, like Baba under the Chinese, reopening a QE narrative. I know they've tried to push that narrative multiple times to without too much effect, but what are you guys thinking as far as I know we're all looking for dips to buy on equities, but what levels are we thinking here?
I like Amazon. I like Amazon a lot. Because it really has not pulled back that hard with SPY. So SPY, I mean, I like a close today over the wick from yesterday. Yeah, over the wick from yesterday. 434.6s. That's where I'd feel comfortable bidding some Amazon. I don't know about Google. Google doesn't look too hot right now. Honestly, I was looking at it last week, but yeah, I think I'd look at Amazon if we got a close like that on SPY. Um, but I mean, it's short term. It's a bearish market structure. Like it is. Like if on like the 1 hour, right? Like until we see a higher high than 434, we're pumping right now. But until we get a higher high and we get that market structure break, like I lean towards lower. I don't know.
124, someone's in there. That looks like a solid support right there.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets smacked back down, I mean, there's a gap at 424 on SPY. A pretty decent sized gap from 424 to 423. But I mean, first stop would be 430. Like I think 4,300 would be a natural first stop. That little consolidation there is what I'd look for. But it all depends on how today closes. Like if we can't get above 434 and a half, like I think it's probably gonna set a lower low this week, I would say. So I'm not like jumping. I'm not like jumping at the chance to buy equities here. Um, because it's like, yeah, I think they'll go set a higher high, but like, what is that? Like, even if they set a higher high by like, a couple percent, like, that's a 5% move. Like, yeah, you can play some beta and make some nice money, like, but I'd rather, I have a bunch of spot equities that are just continuing to rip while SPY pulls back. Anovix is at 22% on the day. Like, come on. So, I'm chilling on those. But I think it all comes down to what is going to be priced in for the Fed when that happens in a couple weeks from now. Like, if we get a pause priced in, then I think we're gonna rip. But until then, it's still sell the rip right now. Like it really, like, on a shorter, like, weekly time frame, right? Like week by week time frame, it's still sell the rip. Month by month, it's obviously still buy the dip, right? But we're seeing some sustained selling over the last 10 days, so it's definitely an interesting spot. If we go lower, I'd look at some calls, but here I'm not super interested in going derivatives long or short at 434 right now. If we if we close above, I'm looking at calls though for sure. Let me check the CME thing.
I mean, it's interesting on Google. I know you said it looks bearish, but like this is a nice buy up here on this wick. This is a good consolidation range right here. I feel like it's just kind of grabbing liquidity here, right? And we could see if you look here on the weekly close and the monthly close, they both close in 3 days and 5 hours. So this could be a suppression of price going into end of month calls. And once we get those end of month calls out, and all the people that were longing calls, once their stuff basically expires, we could see that reversal back up to take out basically all the shorts. Basically, everybody putting the positions on Google and stuff. What are your thoughts on that?
I just checked the CME thing. It's 80% priced in that we're gonna get a hike, which is pretty funny that we're ripping on that because we had some we had some data come in today that wasn't great. I think I guess new home sales accelerated, which would lend towards a Fed hike.
Who didn't see that one coming?
Yeah, I know.
I'm talking about the home sales, but I'm questionable on the hikes, but the home sales, like everybody has. Like,
I mean,
that was
if it's-
baked in the cake.
If it's priced in, he's gonna do it. That's just how he works.
I mean, kind of like I don't know, bro. I heard transitory never happened.
I know. No, I just mean like obviously not what he says, but what he does. Right? Every time it's priced in, that's what he does. So
the reason that I question the price in rates is because why pause? If you know there's headwinds, why pause?
yeah, if core remains sticky, why pause? I know. Like I think it comes down to the print this month. I guess like that would change everything. I don't know. I'm looking at Google. It looks like kind of a rounded top, if I'm being honest. But it also could be a good dip buy. We didn't.
Yeah, but if you look at it, look, this is your atypical move. I know I have it highlighted here, but like it's a pull from over here, right?
I'd
And
want
you're
to see
basically
that
just
gap close, though. You know what I mean?
you're dipping liquidity to reverse back up. You know what I'm saying? Like you're creating momentum. This is very much like what Bitcoin did, in my opinion.
I would look for a lower high. I would look for a lower high, then come into that gap and then go. Wish I could share my screen, but I can't. You see the gap at 113?
Yeah, but here's my concern with this, right? If we go lower, here, I'll just delete all this. If we go lower here, I think you're gonna run into problems because like this is where you want to be, and if you start breaking this structure, like you're directionally gonna start moving the other way.
Yeah, if you set a lower high.
You need to hold this structure, right? And if once you start eating into this candle, there's really no stopping you from coming down and revisiting the lower position here, which means directionally you're starting to chop this way.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like, okay, if I want to play upside, if SPY gets to close above 434.5, what am I playing, right? Like, what am I? I think Amazon, bro. Amazon's strong as.
Yeah, I would say Google's a solid bid here. Like the way it looks, like I didn't zoom out really and look at this, but like you got a solid bid there. I mean, I like Amazon too. Don't get me wrong. You got a double bottom here. You tried to triple, right? You got a solid uptrend on RSI and stochastic. Boom. You have room. You have room over here on this one. Now the thing is we've come down and bounced, and yes, we can come down and kind of hang out here and roll out of this too. We don't necessarily have to completely rebound, but we can kind of roll back out too, which would bring the stochastic back into the lower range, probably RSI back into the lower range, and rip back up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just as long as you kind of hold this range. Yeah, so you could be extended here for a while, but like I would say you have to hold this range. That's what I'm saying. Like this is your line in the sand of support. Like you start breaking this support, and you can see the bounce here. That's exactly where they bounced. You start breaking this support, you've now violated, your pump. So now directionally, I would say you'd be heading the other way if that happens, because you'll fall below. You'll retest, and then you'll directionally start breaking out.
No, yeah, I mean, I think if you get below, what'd you have, 116? You're on the weekly. You gotta zoom in more, brother. You gotta go to the daily.
116, man. 116.
Go to the daily. Go to the daily.
It's everything you need to know.
No,
You have a gap here too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Fill the gap.
Oof.
Then you can go.
It better be a wick. That's all I can say. It better be a freaking wick.
Yeah.
If it's a body, you're gonna break down.
That's what I mean, bro. Look at Amazon. It's just much safer upside play. Like it's just chat.
I mean, you got a gap here too, and it's coming back to fill it.
Yeah. I don't know. Amazon's a safer play in my opinion for upside if we get it.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon's the same thing. Look, it's already started rounding. It's gonna come back. It's gonna hit this one, and then bounce.
Let's look at
I don't know if it's just gonna chad.
Let's look at Rivian, bro, because Rivian is interesting.
I mean, Rivian's been interesting.
I know, but
it's not doing what it needs to do. Like it has a strength.
Yeah.
It has the trend. The RSI is in its favor. The stochastic's not. Right? We got dropping vol, which means the problem with vol is for me is vol is not low enough. Right? So what I'm seeing is dropping vol. And because vol is still dropping until it gets to that pinch point, it's not going to break, right? So like I'm thinking like chop until it gets to that pinch point. It's a very, very difficult one for me, but I don't know. You can give me your perspective on it, but that's what I'm thinking.
I mean,
and stochastics kind of following that too.
Yeah, it's sitting at the value area low. I just took like the big volume candle from March 7th. Drew volume profile. It's sitting right at the value area low. Let me zoom in. It's got to hold though. It's got to hold 1340. Like if it doesn't hold 1340, you're going at least. You're going
double bottom
6-7% lower. Probably more like 10.
Yeah. That's why I didn't want to put calls in here. It can hold here though, and just chop sideways.
Yeah.
Before it breaks out. That's what I'm concerned about. That's why I'm cautious about putting in calls again right now. Is because I don't want to see it end up chopping me up for like a month before it actually makes its move.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, it's a must hold. You got easy invalidation, but you probably have to take some time on it.
Yeah.
At least set a
That's the
high
thing.
at 1450. Like at least go up $1 from here.
I'd like to see get back up to 14-15. Somewhere in there.
Yeah, you got to go at least set a lower high. Come on now.
Lucid's an interesting one too. Got a lower low here, higher high on the RSI. So I'm seeing a bullish dip playing out here.
Ooh, that's an ugly looking chart. Wow. I don't know, bro.
Which one, Lucid?
Yeah.
Tell me it's not a bull dip there.
Yeah, but that's an ugly chart. What are the fundamentals here? Are they actually doing stuff? What's the deal?
Yeah, it's an EV. It's literally a competitor to Tesla.
No. I know that, but are they doing anything?
I saw one of their stores in the mall yesterday.
Did you buy anything?
See?
Not a Lucid.
Bearish.
So bearish. Bro, they got really good cars, man. I don't know. Oh, right here. Lucid Motors strikes deal to power Aston Martin's future lineup of EVs. I'd say that's pretty bullish.
I see Saudi Arabia's PIF doubled down on Lucid stock.
Bro, Saudi is in deep on Lucid, bro.
Really?
They are in deep bullish then.
So they're max bidding, you would say?
They are max, like you should see how much they own. They are max bidding Lucid. Hard.
Interesting. I feel like
look at investors. You'll see the Saudis have a lot of it, bro. And they just keep on doubling down every time it drops.
Wow. Bitcoin's kind of dumping here, huh? God damn.
Check this out.
Shorted ETH. Yeah, okay.
I'd say that's pretty good. Look at that.
They're rugging it. Come on, rug it.
Ruggies.
What they did to Blur after that pump is just absolutely disgusting,
I
man.
know, dude.
It's so gross.
Ooh, OX buying opportunity incoming, fellas.
Is it?
Yeah. Suzu is blessing us with a dip to buy.
What is the price? Don't dip too far.
0.3.
I'm not looking to buy anymore.
I'll buy more.
Bumpy.
Yeah.
Oh, barely dipped.
Yeah. Yeah. Bitcoin's getting smacked though. Oh wait, no, it's not. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. This is such a
Yeah,
scam.
I mean, I kind of thought Bitcoin would bounce from 30.5 a little deeper than I thought.
Bitcoin is fine. Look at it.
It's
Look
just
at what we're
chopping.
freaking out about. Look at
Bitcoin's
that.
just chopping.
30.5.
You're
It's
on
just
the
chopping.
weekly.
Well, 30.5.
Come on down to the 4 hour, brother.
I mean, that's only trading 4 hours worth of time.
I know.
I'm getting those swings, those big swings. Lower high wicks. Oh, look. Bears are pretty much done.
What do you mean? There's no body close above what? 31?
Look how big this wick is. Look how big this wick is.
Put a line at the top.
And
of
then the
body
next
candle.
wick's gonna be like this big, and then it's gonna be guy
Put a
candle.
horizontal
Straight up.
ray at the top of the big body candle.
What, this?
Yeah, that. Put a yeah, right there. Yeah.
Okay.
Until we close above that, it's over.
It's over.
It's over.
You
Bro,
gotta close above that though. You got to. You can't
Look,
that looks
all we gotta do is fill this wick right here. All right, we fill this wick, we're good.
Once we get a close above 30, what is that? 30.660. Yeah.
No, but don't you agree we gotta fill this wick right here?
I mean, there's definitely stops to run. Yeah.
I think we'll fill it eventually, Will. I think we'll chop a little bit more before we do it.
I'm glad you guys agree with me that we need to fill that wick.
I think it'd be hilarious if we filled the wick on a wick.
I'm glad you guys agree that we need to fill this wick.
Whoa, not that wick. Not that wick, Will. Someday.
You guys disagreed. What do you mean?
I will say I'm a little disappointed at the lack of follow through after we made a new yearly high.
Yeah.
I mean,
definitely think that's a little bit concerning.
look, we talked about this yesterday, though. Remember off stream we talked about this, and we said the lack of follow through is them basically baiting shorts, making people think this is an information high, and then they're gonna bait everybody in the shorts up here, and then they're gonna burn them, and then they're gonna start rolling down after that. I'm telling you.
I don't know, Will. I don't know.
Look at volume. Do you have any volume?
Yeah, I got volume.
Where's your volume?
What you talking about?
Right here. Where's your volume?
Insanely low.
Yeah, so where's your sellers?
They're out there. You're looking at one, Will. Are you talking spot? Because, yeah, there's probably not a ton of spot sellers.
That's what I'm saying. There's no spot sellers, man.
Yeah.
There's almost nil spot sellers. If there were spot sellers, we would have more volume.
That's why part of me does think we might, like this next leg higher might take a little bit to form, just because we don't have that many spot sellers, but spot buyers bought lower. So
Exactly. Like, who's buying
they're going to have
spot
to chase, or Perps is going to have to chase higher.
Let me show you Exhibit A. Pump. Exhibit A. Exhibit B. Pullback. Exhibit C. How high did that go?
What?
This was your
no,
initial
I know.
pump.
I did that yesterday. Yeah, from the top of the Chad candle. Yeah, 22% from the first drive, and it was 10% from the second drive. So,
Yep.
but you gotta see. I mean, we had a. Oh, actually, no, we didn't. The second, I like it. I like it to look maybe more like the second drive on the weekly. You get 3 dojis basically, and then a Chad.
Yep. And we could very easily do that.
I could see
We could
that.
very easily do
But
that.
look at
Yep.
those wicks, bro. Those wicks are low.
That's but no, but that's what I was talking about. I was like, that's why you don't want to be long or short here.
Those are
Because
5% wicks.
they can go this way, then go this way, and the next month go this way, go this way, and the next
Put
month
in a
go this way, and then this
5%
way.
wick. That's 29K, 28,977. A 5% wick from here. That's definitely possible.
Remember when I said 29.5? That's where I could see them dipping into.
Yeah,
I could see them pushing to 29.5
for sure.
to really shake people out, get people really short, and then pull it back up, and then do it again, and then do it again, and then God can't over here.
Let's see.
And then after we get that, that's where the trend starts going the other way, because now you got your 3 drive high, and from your 3 drive high, you're basically good to go.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying now, though? It's just going to be a boring week. Like, I'm not going to leverage this. I already know what's going to happen. They're going to sit here and run this thing sideways for like 2-3 weeks. Everybody's going to get bored. Things going to fall over. Everybody's going to start talking bearish, right? Everybody's going to start talking bearish. They're going to short, and then they're going to get wrapped.
I think anybody like holding a short on this high, expecting it to be the yearly high is. It might, whether or not it is the yearly high, I think it's a bit naive to think that. Which is why I kind of think we're going to at least run that wick again. But also on the topic of like looking for trades around it, you know, that there's a reason. Like for me, the target is the high, right? Like I'm looking for longs in mid to low 29s if we can possibly get it. And I'm looking for the high, not necessarily 35K. I know a lot of people are looking for 35. Like I know you're looking for it. Well, I'm a little skeptical that we go that high. I'd be really happy if we did. You know, it would benefit my bags, but I think at the moment I'm still a little bit skeptical. But I do think that high, at least, we're definitely taking it again.
I don't know if everybody's on board with 35. Everybody I talk to says 40. I can name some spaces that I've been in where they say 40 to 50.
Yeah, I can't.
I'm sure you can imagine those spaces I've been in that where they say 40 to 50.
Yeah.
And if you look at growth accounts that have grown throughout this bear run, right? They've basically grown off that 40 to 50 to 150 K narrative. And they've grown 4x other accounts that have been within reasonable price ranges. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's how like 2 days of price action can make everybody change their price target from like teens to like 40K.
Bro, I can get on board with the 40K narrative, but like I need to see it first. I need to see it.
It starts with equities, man. If equities go to like all-time highs, then I can see it. But otherwise, I don't know about that.
Equities need to get the push first for sure. I
Yeah.
completely agree. To get that high in Bitcoin and crypto, you gotta get equities to push first, because that means the money's there, right? That means the money because like a lot of people don't realize like 100 billion flowing into crypto is nothing. It's nothing. You get $100 billion inflows to Tesla, right? The dollar amount there, it's not even close. Not even close. That's why you have to see equities move, because if you get $1 trillion moving into equities, you might get 100 million into crypto. Or 50
Well, let's
million.
look at Will. Can you load up the Bitcoin against SPX pair?
Yeah.
You'd have to manually put it. Yeah.
Here we go. All right, so we'll
Now,
just
can you take that off and go?
You gotta type in the formula. Don't do compare. Don't do compare.
what do you mean,
Right next to the plus, go to the Bitcoin thing right next to the plus that
Where
you
it says
click.
BTC USDT at the top left.
right here?
Yeah, right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
No,
Hit the
left.
Bitcoin right next to it. Yeah. Then hit a slash.
SPX?
SPX, yeah. And you'll just click on it. Not on crypto, but on
Just
stocks.
enter.
Yeah, just hit enter.
Yeah.
There it is.
There we go.
I mean, crypto's up on SPX,
Is that
or at least it was. Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't.
Why is it on Binance?
Cleanly.
Oh,
Maybe that
speaking
is
of Binance.
though, actually. I take that back. We haven't made a new high on the year.
Mm-hmm. That is it. Basically, if SPX rips, you're gonna see this come down.
Yeah.
Because I don't-
Bitcoin NASDAQ looks a bit like a Head and Shoulders.
I mean, if you looked at this from, I mean, it looks just like Bitcoin. It looks very similar to Bitcoin. 1, 2, 3 drive high. The thing I don't like is that they retest the low here, right? SPY Bitcoin.
Well, maybe that was the run that we were expecting on the USD pair, but it happened kind of under the hood.
Yeah, that's true.
You guys
Seen
ever
that.
looked at BTC over TLT? What am I looking at here? Okay.
You said BTC over TLT?
Yeah.
Sure.
You can just do it. Just do it in how you did the last one.
Oh, you want to just do them like this?
Yeah, just type
Oh,
slash
so
TLT.
TLT.
Oh, no.
Whoops. X.
Just hit enter. Yeah. New high.
New high.
Nice new high.
Look at this one.
Significant new high.
I mean, there's not really much of a deviation there, I would say. It's almost exactly what Bitcoin did, more or less. TLT just hasn't really operated. TLT's been kind of sitting there at its lows, not doing nothing.
Let's see.
That's our move there, though. Right there. Check it out. Straight up. God candle. ABC down. STMX still sitting. Look at that.
Man, at the end of every show, man, we count on Nakamoto. Darling interference.
I'm just saying, yeah. Just saying. It's there. Look at that one. Look at that breakout.
Looks nice.
Man, oh man. Imagine if only you knew how to get over to Polygon.
Yeah, man. When you said we had to bridge, that was it. It was over.
You guys were like, no, I don't want to. I was like, all right. The price action's there. Price action speaks for itself. Let's see another one too. Check out this one. ALU. Boom. What do you think about that? That's a pretty nice buy up, right?
don't even know what that is.
Get above there. What do you think's gonna happen? Your next resistance is here, and your next resistance is here.
What even is this?
Oh, you don't know what this is?
No.
Oh man. Oh man.
Oh man.
Hold on. Guess what? Guess what chain it's on?
If it's not ETH, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, Big Tuck does not like to. This one's on BNB, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah, is that
No, we talked about this one. I remember this one. You walked us through their their phase.
Yeah.
Will's gonna get us bullish on all of the GameFi guys.
Oh yeah, it's big, man. It's big. Tell you guys, look, keep on fading me. You're gonna be like, man, where do I buy at 59 cents? I'm like, well, you could have bought it too.
All right, well, I'm gonna pull up a chart right before we go off air here. It's a GameFi chart. If my computer will ever load it in time, I will pull it up. Come on.
Let me know when you have it.
All right.
Alright. Oh. Oh dear. Snorlax, you have it up.
Not quite.
All right, this is the last one.
Let me know when you get it.
Booyah.
There we go. DMT.
You will embrace, Will. You will embrace my Nakamoto games.
Look, I only see like 4, maybe 4x there. All right.
So clean, bro.
Submit.
You will submit
Jeez.
to the Dream Machine token.
I mean, it looks like the people who bought the top of the move just broke even.
I mean, who really bought the top of this move, though? This one daily candle?
Somebody bought it.
And now they're above water.
Yep.
You mean
Price
they're
discovery soon, boys.
they just got their first breath of air. Not quite above water yet.
Hey, as long as you're breathing, right?
Stick their mouth up.
As long as
You're
you're
trying to get
breathing.
there. Oh man.
We can wrap things up though, guys, unless y'all have any closing thoughts here before we part ways.
Look for dips on OX, and I would be a buyer.
Will, you got anything?
Yeah, I might add some OX, I'm not gonna lie. Altura all day. Nakamoto games on Polygon Matic all day. Yeah, I want to add to my Rivian, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I want to add to my Rivian. I might add to my Rivian. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I think again, there's a lot of opportunity. You look at things like Lucid, Rivian. I think one of the more interesting ones, I guess the takeaway is that we didn't really touch base on much is just the Lucid and Aston Martin conversation. We're gonna talk about that next time. Do a little bit of research into that. It's very interesting that Aston Martin would pick Lucid of all companies to help them with their EVs. I think that's a pretty good sign. So definitely something to keep an eye on.
Definitely something I want to talk about on the next show. I think that's a really interesting conversation to be having, especially because I just saw those cars yesterday. So now I feel like I have a little bit of a mental framework to work with. But yeah, I appreciate all the thoughts and commentary today, guys. Appreciate all the viewers for tuning in once again. If this is your first time or if you're a regular viewer, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We really appreciate you guys for your support. we hope you enjoy the content that we put out. We really enjoy just, this is basically what we do during a regular day anyway, right? Just talk shop, just chart all day, but it's a blast. And even though we've had some nice little volatility this morning, especially on Bitcoin and crypto, I think we're still pretty much trading almost in the exact same spot as this morning. So don't get yourself chopped up before the the real meaty move is coming. I think we're all kind of expecting some larger move than the chop we've seen over the last 4 or 5 days, probably over the next 2 or 3 weeks. I anticipate at some point in July we'll probably see a conclusion of this Bitcoin move, whatever that may be. But yeah, no, once again, guys, thanks again for tuning in. If you appreciated the content and want more intimate access to some of our trading and some of our plays, we do have premium content with the link available in the description of this YouTube video, as well as the link tree of our Twitter bio. You can access our Discord, our premium newsletter. We've also got premium investment articles as well. All kinds of stuff for you guys to get your hands on. But bottom line, we appreciate you for being here. And I hope you guys all have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday. We'll be back for Market Check later this afternoon. And stay safe, guys. Don't get chopped up.